In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the power steering cooler low pressure hose, which is the one that goes from the reservoir to the AC condenser. That's where the cooler is. So let's get started. Open up the power steering reservoir, set the cap aside, and use a turkey baster or a fluid extraction pump. And let's empty out this reservoir. Get as much of the old fluid out as you can. Recycle it properly, so put it in a collection bucket. Put the cap back on so debris doesn't get in there. Through the upper radiator support, you can see the lower power steering cooler hose. That's the return hose. It goes from the reservoir right to the cooler. If you don't have a hose clamp tool, the special tool, you might have to remove that upper radiator hose or other things out of the way to get to this clamp, unfortunately. I have the tool, so I'm going to use it. What this does is it just squeezes the clamp like that and locks in the open position. I'm going to leave it like this, and with the clamp loose, we should be able to pry that hose off of there. Grab it from underneath and pull on it gently. Use a pry bar or screwdriver to help it along. Don't damage anything though. You can't even reach it from the top. Okay, slide that clamp out of there to make room for the hose. There we go. Fluid will come out, so make sure you have a collection bucket underneath to catch the fluid. Now on the reservoir side, you'll see that lower, smaller hose. That's the one that we're after. Let's take the clamp off. You can do this with pliers or special hose clamp pliers. Once you've pulled the clamp off of there, looks like my hose is a little bit swollen, so it's not allowing the clamp to slide off. That's fine. I'll leave it like this, and then we'll just pull the hose right off of the reservoir. Sometimes you're gonna have to twist it a little bit, slide it off. Make sure you have a collection bucket underneath because fluid will leak. Okay, there we go. Pull this clamp away. We'll save it for the new hose. If yours is bad, of course, you'd want to replace it. At this point, we can pull the hose right up and out. Sneak the new hose down in here. Make sure it follows the same path as the old one. I put the hose clamp on the hose, slide the hose all the way down, and now let's just put the hose clamp right back on. Make sure it's nice and secure. This time I'm going to grab it with some needle nose pliers, slide it over, right about in the middle of that fitting over there, and that's perfect. Let's connect the other side. Now let's get the power steering cooler hose into the AC condenser. There we go. Try to get it to slide over there. Push that hose in all the way. And now we're going to use the hose clamp pliers and grab onto that clamp, slide it on, make sure that hose is locked in nicely. Right about here is where I want it, right in the middle. And there we go, hose is locked on. Now when it comes time to filling the power steering fluid, you'll see a maximum and a minimum line here. Go ahead and fill it until you reach the maximum line. If you're unsure of what fluid to use, refer to your owner's manual. Right about there. And now I'm going to run the vehicle and turn the steering wheel a little bit, maybe take it for a short test drive. You shouldn't lose a lot more fluid than this since we only disconnected this upper hose, but it will be a little bit lower than what you just filled it, and then top off as necessary.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.